Hi y'all, welcome back to another video. Today we are doing an in-depth makeup tutorial. This is like my go-to base routine, how I do it, every single step that I take to look like my best self. This is not a light coverage makeup. This is still full coverage. This is full beat, full glam, but the tones, the shades, the depth is all going to just be very natural and flattering. And yeah, let's just hop into it. This is like a makeup look that I would do for photo shoots for myself, for date night. I did a very similar look on my own wedding day, things like that, where you want to be in full glam, but you want to still look like yourself, just like the most full glam, flattering version of yourself, if that makes sense. So we are starting, of course, with skincare. I did not do that on camera. It starts with skincare. Make sure, like, I have really dry skin. I am exfoliated, hydrated, the whole nine yards. Then I'm going in with the Face Glue NYX Hydrating Gripping Primer. Love this stuff. And then the Revolution Sport Fix Setting Spray. That is just going to give you the most tacky base possible. And then prep your lips. I use the e.l.f. lip oil. You can use any lip oil, lip balm, lip mask that you prefer. Now, I am a color correcting girl. I love it. I feel like you use less makeup overall if you color correct and then you go in with a lot of light layers of all of the steps that we're going to do. That is how you get full coverage that lasts without looking cakey or heavy on the skin. It is a lot of light layers. So we'll get into it. I'm using green and purple for the redness. The green is going to color out the redness and the light purple is going to brighten. And then I'm using these peachy orangey tones around the eyes for my dark circles. These are just going to cancel things out. Everybody has different problems with their skin. You can get one of these color correcting palettes like I have. This one's from Relove. It is literally like $3 at Walmart and it's so good. And just about color correct anything that could be going on with you. And then I like a glowy skin, so no matter what foundation I'm using, pretty much, I will start with the e.l.f. Halo Glow. This has a little bit of coverage to itself, like a light coverage. We're going for more coverage than that today, but you could use this by itself if you really wanted light coverage, but I'm adding this for the glow. My favorite full coverage long wear foundation of all time is going to be the About Face foundation. This was created by Halsey to be full coverage glam, but last for an entire set on stage through sweat and singing and moving your face and running around. And oh my gosh, does it work. Not only does it look beautiful, it is a very, very thin formula. It does not feel thick on your skin at all. There's a humongous shade range. It also lasts so long. You will not have to touch up with this whatsoever. So I'm just going to go in with a sponge. You can use a brush if that's what you prefer. I prefer a sponge, and I'm going to blend all of that in. Then we're going to do some contouring and bronzing steps. Today I'm using the e.l.f. bronzer, camo bronzer contour. This is the one thing I will say. The actual product that I use, I probably have like 3 or 4 products in each category that I really love, and I switch up between them. However, the order of the steps that I do doesn't change, and that is part of the key to success here. So I'm doing the bronzer and contour first, and you do not have to add a ton. Again, we're going to go in with a lot of little layers. So right now you're thinking, that's really not a lot of bronzer. And you're probably right. It's a nice light contour and bronzer shade for me, but we are going to go in with other things that are going to continue to deepen up the face and accentuate my face in the right way. Going in with a liquid highlight here, just the Milani one. I hate the packaging. I actually threw away that highlight right after this because I hate the packaging so much. Love the Rare Beauty highlight. That is the only one I own now that I threw away, that Milani liquid one. Anyway, then I'm using the Hourglass cream blush here. I'll put everything down below with shade names and everything in case you are close in shade to me, but this is more about the process of how I'm doing everything. You may have noticed while I'm blending all of these steps out, I take them pretty high up on the cheek, into the temple, and into the side of the eye, and that is on purpose. I feel like this really suits my face shape, and there's lots of charts online where you could look up your particular face shape and the most flattering blush and bronzer placements for you. I really like to take my blush and bronzer very high and into the eye area because again, it's just really flattering on my face shape. And then also I'll blend my eyeshadow right into it, and it just makes everything look very seamless so that your face is kind of contoured, but it's almost like hard to tell what looks so good because it's blended. Everything's blended very seamlessly. Once I'm satisfied with the blush blend, then we are going to go in with concealer. I'm using the Milani Conceal and Perfect, and I am using a very small amount of this in a very small area. I do not use as much concealer as I used to in the past because I feel like it really is just overkill of product, and I do use the concealer last because then if you get a little bit out of hand with the bronzer or the blush or anything, you can basically fix it and adjust it with the concealer. Then I'm using a translucent powder to bake under the eyes, and I do kind of take it out like a shield to make sure that my eyeshadow doesn't go too low there in the outer corner. If you can kind of see, it kind of follows my lower lash line out. But underneath the eye, just so I don't take the eyeshadow too low, and that just keeps it really nice and flattering. I let the rest of my face air dry, and this is another step that will keep it from getting cakey. I let it dry while I work on the eyes. Now, I did a cream eyeshadow stick. That is a little bit of an extra step. That's completely up to you. I prefer that because I do have slightly hooded eyes. I kind of don't have hooded eyes. I have deep set eyes, so there's a lot of wrinkles in the lid, and the cream eyeshadow just helps for it to not crease as easily. You could use a primer, whatever you want. The most important thing is right here. I always, no matter what type of eyeshadow look that I do, I give myself a nice smudgy brown liner on the lash line. On a day like today where I'm just trying to look like myself but better, I do put some color on the lid. As you can see, I use that cream eyeshadow stick from ColourPop, and then I use like a medium tone, like a matte eyeshadow, just to set that and smoke everything out, because otherwise your eyes can look a little bit small and undefined. Like they really just look undefined if you don't put anything on your lid. And I take that matte eyeshadow right out to meet the bronzer. Like I said earlier, it just contours your eyes, makes them stand out, makes them just look more alive, and it contours the entire face and makes everything really seamless. Then I'll take the darkest brown, usually in whatever powder that I'm using, palette that I'm using, sorry. And I take this little Real Techniques brush. It is a dome shape. It's not like one of those flat line brushes. It's kind of this dome shape, and I will line the lash line. You have to do this. It defines your eyes so beautifully. It makes your lashes look fuller if you're not going to wear fake lashes. Like on my wedding day I did, but sometimes for other, date nights and stuff, I don't want to. If my eyes are dry or my contacts are bothering me, or I just simply don't feel like it, this will give you a defined, full looking lash without having to wear fake lashes, and it just looks flattering on everybody no matter what your eye shape is. Defining your lash line will look flattering, if that makes sense. Then for me, this is a little bit more specific to my face shape, but because I have deep set eyes, I always have this little like cavern in here on the inner corner, and I'll either use a white or bone color eyeshadow or just my face powder to make sure that that is really nice and bright and no dark circles or little blue hues are peeking through. So that is the top of the eyes, and now we're going back to the face. I'm going to do one half so you can see the difference. I'm using my Halo Sculpt palette from Smashbox, and I'm basically going in the same order that I did my cream steps and setting each cream with a powder. First the bronzer and contour, then the highlight, then the blush. Once I have the blush exactly where I want it, and like pretty much all of the product is off of this brush, then I will take this same blush brush and I will dust away the bake under my eyes. It makes everything, I know it sounds so weird, but it makes the blend so seamless. And I promise, like when I started doing this is when I got all of the compliments, like all the compliments about how seamless and like flawless my base looks. It is because I take steps like this to blend everything really seamlessly. So you can see the difference here on the depth of the bronzer. Like I said earlier, we deepened it up a little bit, we punched up the color, but the blend is gorgeous. And because you set everything with a powder, it is going to last all stinking day. Now we're going to go in with my face powder. This is just for the other areas of the face, middle of the forehead, the chin and jawline area that haven't gotten any powder yet so far, because I didn't really like bake those areas or whatever, but I want them to last and I want the blend to be really nice as well. this is what I do. I just use a big fluffy brush, and as you can see, I am barely tapping into that powder. It is a very, very light layer of powder. It is just enough to set it so it doesn't budge. Then we are going to set the face with the Morphy Continuous Setting Spray. You could also use that Sport Fix from earlier or just your favorite setting spray. Then we are moving back to the eyes. We are not forgetting about defining the bottom lash line. I'm going to use that face highlight on the inner corner and the brow bone, and then going to use that same brush that I did the top lash line with and only do the very outer third of the bottom lash line, and then use that first like lightish brown taupey color to smoke out the bottom lash line. I promise you don't look weird with eyeshadow under your eyes. You're probably just not used to it, but it opens up your eyes and is so flattering. Once you start doing it and you get used to it, you will never go back because your eyes will look so much more big and open and beautiful, and they just sparkle. You can see the difference here, just how defined one eye looks versus the other, and don't forget to take extra care to make sure that you're connecting that to the top of the lid as well. Not to like wing it out. I mean, that just depends on your eye shape, but just at least to connect it. And then I'm going to add mascara again on the top and the bottom, again to just continuously define the eyes and make everything look really balanced. I do my brows. I really feel like I don't have good brows. Nobody's asking me for a brow tutorial. I put some fiber brow gel in them that has a tint to them, and then I fill in the blank spots and I kind of extend the tail of my brows a little bit, and that's about it. But I really do not have the best brows in the whole world. I know, and I don't carve them out or anything, so I know nobody's really asking me for that. But that is what I do. Then for the lips, I have really been into a lip liner and lip oil combo. So that is what I've been doing 95% of the time. And again, I do feel like it looks flattering on everybody to have a nice, defined, hydrated, juicy lip. This is how everything looks in daylight, and I just absolutely love it. Again, this is like my go-to base, my go-to how to look like myself but better look. Let me know down below what you guys think, and if there's any other videos that you want to see, let me know. I'll list everything in the description bar that I used on my face, as well as my Instagram, my TikTok, and my other YouTube channel if you want to follow me everywhere. And I will see you guys in another video very soon. Bye.